The authorities in Mexico have stepped up security in the north of the country following the capture of a major drugs baron on Saturday. The Interior Ministry said it wanted to deter any violence from drug cartels seeking to expand their influence after the arrest of Mario Ramirez Trevino.
Mario Ramirez Trevino is facing up to 40 years in jail after being arrested. Ramirez Trevino is said to be the head of the cocaine and marijuana smuggling Gulf cartel. He was captured on the US-Mexico border.
Mario Ramirez's arrest in the north of Mexico comes barely a month after the arrest of another alleged drug cartel leader in July. It's clear that the Mexican government is targeting these top leaders of these cartels in the north of Mexico. It's unclear, though, whether these arrests are going to bring down levels of violence, because these cities and these states where they reign in the north of the country are basically no-go zones for average citizens here in Mexico. Many people are afraid to leave their house, sometimes in daylight hours. There's not many reports of what's going on to be trusted in the press, because the press is either sometimes bought off or threatened not to publish what they see happening in those communities. And the only way many of these people know what's going on in their communities is from anonymous bloggers. Meanwhile, the government is immersed in a military battle with the cartel in the west of the country. This cartel, the Knights Templar, has been extorting, pressuring people in that region, making money not just off drug smuggling and drug production, but also through threatening and charging protection money. Now, community police groups have sprung up in that area, and the military has tried to take arms from those groups and is also trying to push that cartel out. But so far, they're not having much success. In fact, on Saturday, more than 20 bodies were found in that region, so we're only seeing more and more violence take place there now.
In a few hours, a British warship is expected to arrive in Gibraltar, where 40 Spanish boats have been involved in a confrontation with UK authorities. The fishing vessels were protesting at the building of an artificial reef, which has also led to Spain introducing tougher border checks around the British overseas territory.
A standoff on the high seas. Spanish fishermen circled en masse off the coast of Gibraltar on Sunday, protesting the creation of an artificial reef. Crowds cheered as around 60 boats gathered near the disputed British territory, with both Gibraltarian and Spanish police vessels in attendance. The British government dropped 70 concrete blocks into the sea in July to form a protective reef, a move which has resulted in a diplomatic spat between the UK and Spain.
The wealthy enclave, population 30,000, has been under virtual siege for the past week as Spanish customs officials have performed exhaustive checks on all traffic at the frontier just north of the airport runway, creating long queues of traffic. It was prompted by the Gibraltar authorities sinking concrete blocks into the bay as an artificial reef to preserve marine life. But the fishermen complain it prevents them using drag nets. We just want respect, that we will be respected, and let's stop doing foolish things. We're losing a whole bay full of seafood. That's where we all used to fish, and now it's full of blocks, so we can't fish anymore. Britain has called for EU inspectors to verify if the border checks are in contravention of EU law, while the Spanish are preparing legal proceedings of their own.
Spain and her fishermen are not very popular on the rock right now.
This is our land. They've got enough water, so why don't they go and fish somewhere else instead of our water and leave us in peace? We want to be British.
In England, this is, I don't ask my next door neighbour if I can put a rose in my garden, and this is the same issue. Very simple, but it's a bigger issue. This constant bullying, this constant manipulation is a daily thing.
But the fishermen are equally convinced their cause is just.
If my boat is stopped here, I lose a lot of money every day. Me and the fishermen who work with me. We all lose good money, between 300 and 500 euros a day.
The diplomatic spat between Spain and the UK and Gibraltar began a few weeks ago, when the authorities here dropped 70 concrete blocks into the sea to protect marine life from overfishing. Spain responded by increasing border checks into and out of Gibraltar, leading to queues lasting hours.
What they do here is they rake fish, they drag fish, and they destroy the bottom completely. They take clams and they take shellfish, but what they do is they actually destroy the ecosystem for the rest of the marine life here in this area.
The EU is due to send observers to Gibraltar to assess who's right and who's wrong, but the animosity won't stop.